Coming up, Super Nintendo World in Universal Japan is almost complete. Possible Kingdom Hearts series might be in the works. Questions sent in by you, and more on our first episode of Geekly Kingdom. Hey guys, welcome to our first episode of Geekly Kingdom. I'm so excited to be able to do this for you guys, and yeah, I'm gonna be your host. My name is Eric Wolf, and joining me today is a great panel. We got the one and only Jilly.
Hey!
We got our man from Japan, Spencer.
Good morning.
And oh Canada, we have Tyler.
Sivako, I guess, from Canada.
Oh man.
Hey.
But yeah, we're so excited to be here with you guys. Guys, what have you guys been doing? What have you guys been up to?
I mean, about 2 hours ago, I got a new Disney tattoo.
Hey.
That's what I've been up to. It's all wrapped up and gross right now, but it's there, and it's all red, but it's nice. It has the Epcot, it has Spaceship Earth in it.
Okay.
Some Mickey balloons.
Very nice.
Please don't tell me you were going to say it has the Epcot golf ball in it.
I wasn't going to say the Epcot golf ball. I was going to say the Epcot ball, and then I was like, I shouldn't say that. Because I was talking to my artist about it, and he didn't know it's Spaceship Earth, so he's like, the Epcot ball, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah. At least he didn't say the golf ball. Yeah.
Yes, no one referred to it as a golf ball. We're fine.
Tyler, Spencer, how are you guys doing?
He's like the next one in line. I love the shirt that he's wearing now because it looks like a knockoff Phantasmic shirt. Like the font is the same and the color scheme is identical to Phantasmic.
Oh, that's not a Guy Fieri shirt?
It's a summer event from 2003 to 2005 at Tokyo Disneyland. I have a Phantasmic shirt, though. Hang on a second.
Let's
see
okay.
here.
Cover girl, put some move in your walk.
I have the Phantasmic Grand Premiere show from 2011 at Disney Sea, which is really cool.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it has the little logo on the other sleeve, not that one.
It's like a good glow in the dark
mini
golf.
Yeah, right. That's what it looks like. It's cool.
Yeah, it's nice. You always have nice shirts.
It's really cool. It's very sparkly. It's hard to see this one when I actually wear it though, because like half of it gets cut off from the bottom, so you only see that.
Gotcha. No, but it's cool.
On
I
a
like
stream, yeah. My microphone is always in the way of my shirt, but we're talking about Kingdom Hearts, so I'm wearing like the oldest Kingdom Hearts shirt I have.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that, like,
it's the cover of the
faded look. I don't know if it's because you said it's an old shirt or that is the style, but I like it.
So faded, and by faded I mean worn out.
Yeah.
No.
It is very faded. This used to be very vibrant. And
gotcha. No, but I like it like that.
I've had it since the second game came out, which was like, I don't know, 40 years ago.
Oh man,
in
but actually,
time, yes.
Talking about Kingdom Hearts, did you guys hear that there's going to be a Kingdom Hearts, like, apparently a Kingdom Hearts series for Disney Plus, which is crazy, really I think. Cool, yeah. Square Enix actually is going to be doing the animation for it. That's Disney asked them to do a pilot using the same technology that they did for the games, and apparently this is just rumors, but there could be the return of all the voice actors coming back for the show. What do you guys think of like that? Just that in general.
I mean, who wants to take it away? Tyler, I feel like you got something to say.
I will.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Tyler could do it. Yeah.
I used to be such a huge fan of Kingdom Hearts. I used to, but then I tried to also adapt the very confusing plot of the video games into a stage show, which we did 2 of. And then the third one was just an utter failure because we couldn't make it funny enough. And it's just, I don't know how you're gonna make a show. I mean, if Yeah, there you go. That's why there shouldn't be live action Kingdom Hearts, let alone a musical. But trying to adapt the plot of it it's just such a long, complicated plot that, I mean, if they just do the first game and they leave out like 90% of the stuff that happens in it, fine. But like, if it ends up being good, then I'd love for it to be good. But at the moment, I just can't imagine it being like, it'll be one of those like animes where the first season's fine, and then by like season 4, there's just like, okay, we're all doing the what's it called? We're all doing a big tournament for the next 4 seasons, so everyone go and kill each other.
Yeah,
like that's when I tune out of animes, is after like Naruto or Shaman King or Yu-Gi-Oh! Just gets more complicated every single time.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
And yeah, Kingdom Hearts is the same way.
Like I've played Kingdom Hearts 1. Haven't played Kingdom Hearts 2 or 3. Haven't played any of the ones that come out for like the Game Boys and stuff like that. But I like the premise of Kingdom Hearts, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's a cool premise. But I agree with what Tyler said.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad that they're apparently not going live action.
Yeah, I think that would be bad.
Good.
That's like a thing that Disney's doing,
Yeah,
just
right?
bringing everything into live action. So I'm actually really glad that they're not. But I do have my kind of like...
Well, imagine seeing like a rendering of Donald Duck, but like as like the Lion King, the way they did the Lion King, I'd be scared.
Yeah, no. Like, we don't need that kind of thing.
Can we talk for just like 1 second about how ridiculous Disney is getting with this live action thing, that now we're getting a Black Cauldron live action remake, which should not exist.
You know what? I'm actually not mad about that. I will say that. I'm
You've
not
lost
mad.
it, Spencer.
Yeah, I'm not mad about the Black
There's
Cauldron.
a reason why that movie wasn't successful. I mean...
It was too spoopy, but people
Yeah.
like spoopy now.
That's my thing. It was too spoopy. So I think that right now, I think it's a good way of making that into live action. I feel like live action would have been a great way to do that anyways from the get-go kind of thing. But at the time, Disney was doing more, animation.
The problem with that movie is that they tried to squish like all these different books into one movie. If they're doing the Black Cauldron as like a movie series, and they're doing it like 1, maybe 2 books at a time, maybe it'll be better. That's what I'd hope for, at least.
Well, which brings me to the Kingdom Hearts animated series. Like, would they adapt Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 into the series? Would they do something totally different? So, yeah, my question for you guys is, if they don't adapt Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 or any of the video games, what do you guys want to see? What Disney IP, like, realms do you want to see? What Disney characters would you like to see? Like, it's all about that whole, like, meshing and seeing these different places. So what would you guys want to see? I'm going to go to Spencer first. Spencer, my dude, let me know, what do you...
Oh, okay.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. I mean, my thought process was always that they would base it on the games, but if they didn't, I'd love to see them take advantage of I'd love to see them mix a lot of older and newer stuff. So maybe like you have a Zootopia realm, and then you mix it up with like Peter Pan or Alice in Wonderland, something like that. You know, you find the balance where you're using the classic properties with the newest ones together.
Yeah.
I'm not a writer of Kingdom Hearts ones, so I'm intimately familiar with how the games are usually structured.
Mm-hmm.
But I really think that if they find that great mix of the current and classic IPs, it would be a marriage made in heaven. There's a reason why those games are so successful.
Would you, because Scott in the chat, Scott Smith, our own Scott Smith, put in the chat, there's still a lot of Pixar. With your theory of bringing in like the old and the new, would you also incorporate Pixar? Or would you just do
absolutely
just like animated Disney animation?
Pixar is as Disney itself at this point. I mean, even before they were bought, you can't think of Toy Story, for example, or Monsters, Inc. without thinking of them with Disney. Disney and Pixar are Disney. That's just what it is these days.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I like that. Spencer, for your pitch, because you know I love Pixar. You know I love it. I like Disney animation as a whole. I like animation, just period kind of thing. But I like the mix of both old and new, kind of like what they did. And Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong, they did that pretty much for Kingdom Hearts 3. Because it was Toy Story and was Monsters Inc. new?
I wouldn't say it worked out.
Okay, yeah. Fair. Fair. But yeah, Spencer, I'm gonna give you 2 points. So here you are, 2 points for you. Catch them. Awesome.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
You get 2 points for that pitch. What did they turn into?
2 10-yen coins.
Hey, there we go.
Money.
Cool. Well, keep track of that coin. Don't mix it up with your own.
Not at all the closest things on my desk that I could grab.
Tyler, I'm going to leave you for last because I know I have a feeling your pitch is going to be good. I'm going to leave you for last. Jilly, let's do it. Let me hear yours.
Oh gosh. So I'm not as familiar with Kingdom Hearts as everyone else. I know the premise. I know what's going on and everything. I've just never personally played it. I broke my game console when I was a child very early on. Anyway, I think it would be cool, and I don't know if this has been done already, but to explore the realm of hell with Hades from Hercules and kind of take things there. I've always been kind of fascinated by Greek mythology, so I think bringing it to that world would be very interesting. As well for that, I think bringing it to kind of a voodoo type world from Princess and the Frog, have Dr. Facilier, and kind of bring in like the voodoo magic. I've always been very enamored with like New Orleans and like the voodoo queens and all that stuff. Yeah. And I just think that has like so many realms that you can go into, just exploring not only like a different dimension, but also just like New Orleans itself.
Yeah.
Would be really cool to kind of experience those characters there, and there's just putting it in a different setting, but also a real setting, and not like a made-up thing.
Okay, yeah.
Which I think would be, and is a reason that I like Princess and the Frog, because it is, I think New Orleans as a whole, obviously it's a real place, but it has all these like, not mythological, but like, has this history that lends itself to the imagination.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's something I really like about the Princess and the Frog and that world. So I think that would be really cool to explore with Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
Thank you.
I like it. So would Hades and like Dr. Facilier be the main bads, let's say for like season 1?
Yeah. That's how, like, in my head, I kind of think of it as like almost like Once Upon a Time. Okay. You know, you had like a big bad for this season or like half a season. They used to do like season 1A and then B, you know? And so I think it's important to have like that growth of a storyline. Yeah. That, you know, like Once Upon a Time had with the earlier seasons. Yep. So let's talk about the later ones. So yeah.
I like that, yeah. Jelly, you're getting 2 points. 2 points for that. I like Hades. I like Dr. Facilier. I think both of them work together very well. So yeah, no, I like that. And the other thing that you said of like grounding, you know, like the series a little bit. Yeah. With actual places. Yeah. I think is a really good idea. Even though it's gonna be an animated like series. Well, yeah. Like you would think something like that could very much work for like a live action series because it is grounded in actual places and stuff. But even for the for animation, I like that. That was cool. That was cool. Tyler, man, what you got?
Uh-oh.
Tyler, my man.
The most interesting thing, though, is like, well, okay, can I ask a question first of Jillian Spencer? Since you guys don't really know that much about Kingdom Hearts, can you tell me, like, a lot about Kingdom Hearts? Can you, like, explain to me the plot of the game?
I played the first one a few years ago.
Sorry, go on, Spencer.
I keep meaning to buy Kingdom Hearts 3 and I never do. And I keep meaning to play Kingdom Hearts 2 and I never do. And I keep meaning to replay Kingdom Hearts 1 and I never do. I have Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5 for my PS4. I just never play it. And I really should.
I feel like this is a setup to embarrass myself. And I've done that one too many times on this channel.
I need your solidarity. Like, I need you to embarrass yourself with me because I already just outed myself.
Don't we all remember when I drew the
Kakamora?
The Kakamora. Must we repeat the Kakamora?
Oh, man. Kakamora was great. It was great.
Like, I've played them, but when we were doing like the Kingdom Hearts 2 parody musical, there's a scene where Sora was supposed to be like, "Oh, I get it. So this guy is actually this guy and this guy, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." And as we finish that scene, every time I'm like, I still don't understand what's happening in this game. Like, it's so long and convoluted of a plot. But the most like interesting bit about the first game is there's like, okay, they're trying to kidnap each princess. And so there's a reason to go to certain worlds because each one sort of has like a princess character and you have to try and like rescue them or like get their hearts back or whatever. I don't even remember. And like, so if...
Yeah, because there's something called the Heartless, right?
Concept, yeah. Kingdom Hearts is sort of this place where hearts go or something.
Gotcha.
I don't remember. But there was a reason they needed like the 7 princesses of heart so that they can unlock Kingdom Hearts. just saying.
You see, let me stop you there. Hold on. Because wasn't Alice a princess of, like...
Yeah. When I worked at Disney's store, technically like Pocahontas and Alice, they'd be considered princesses because a princess, according to Disney, was just any female character that girls can look up to as a hero.
So they're doing
it wasn't
that,
necessarily.
Yeah. That's stupid.
But then they started crowning princesses with Rapunzel, and then the next movie was Frozen, and they're like, oh, but technically Elsa's the queen, but she's the one people like, so I guess we don't do a crowning ceremony. And then I think they didn't.
I read something a long time ago basically stating that, you know, like since Frozen made so much money, like movie-wise, merchandise-wise, anything like that, they decided to put Anna and Elsa and Frozen essentially in their own like category, and not incorporate them into like the princess line, because the princess line, Tyler's right, when there's these criterias that Disney princesses need to meet, kind of thing, and like Pocahontas meets those criterias, Alice meets those criterias, but then like Anna and Elsa exceeded on like 2 of them, so it was like, no, they can be in their own thing. Yeah. Like,
well, I remember when I was in Hollywood Studios a couple months ago, probably more than a couple months ago, now that I'm thinking about it. And I was doing like trivia on like Sunset Boulevard. Like this girl, like a cast member, was just doing trivia for like stickers. And like one of the questions was something about a Disney princess. And I don't remember the question, but I was like, is she a Disney princess? And she goes, yes. And I was like, but is she like a princess or is she not a princess? She goes, they consider her a Disney princess. And I'm like, is it Mulan? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, I love Mulan. She's my favorite, but she's not a princess.
I get you, yeah.
She's the conqueror and amazing and saves China, but she's not royalty.
Yeah. Tyler, sorry, go back to your pitch.
Sorry. Rant over.
No, that's okay. It's like, people need to know this stuff. There's a lot of stuff you learn working for Disney that like when people ask you can be like, well, actually, but it makes you sound so mean. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts, like, there's a reason for Sora to go to all these worlds because each one has like a sort of princess in need of rescuing or whatever. But Sora also just he's like on this amazing quest, and then Ariel's like, oh boy, I want to sing, and they're like, okay guys, drop everything, we gotta help Ariel figure out that she can sing and enjoy it. like with every world, Sora just suspends the disbelief of everything happening around him so he can focus on this weird adventure. And like he's like, okay guys, I'll be right back. I gotta jump into this book and do some mini games with Winnie the Pooh. It doesn't help the plot at all. It's just fun, and Sora's just like, it's like in Zelda when Link's just like collecting chickens, and it's like, there's like you gotta go kill Calamity Ganon. Like, I got other stuff to
You know
do.
what this reminds me of? Frick! I just had it in my mind and then it totally left. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Well, actually, now that we stopped for a second,
Mermaid.
you know what it reminds me of? Like, if you're watching like television shows and stuff, there's like filler episodes that essentially don't have anything to do with anything, but it's just there so like they can at the end of the season be like, yeah, we had 23 episodes.
Like the murder hornets were for the world.
This reminds me of Disney Infinity, where there's like no connecting plot and there's just random stuff you do. Like they canceled Disney Infinity during the development of Kingdom Hearts 3, so maybe they just took a lot of those ideas and shoved it into the game. I don't know.
Disney Infinity confused me. I remember a
Lego
friend
Dimension.
had me playing
It was
it, and I'm like,
fun.
I don't know what I'm
Actually
doing.
had a connecting story, oddly enough.
Yeah.
I mean, Disney
So
Infinity was fun. I'm disappointed that they canceled it, but
Yeah.
Oh man.
sorry, that was just like totally a thought that I had.
No, it makes sense though.
Tyler, question.
That's fine.
Was the Kingdom Hearts musical your answer to a Harry Potter musical?
Oh.
Oh god.
Yeah. Hugely inspired by that. But also I just wanted to do a Kingdom Hearts stage show in general.
Yeah.
And then when I wrote it, I was like, a lot of people were like, wow, this could work. And then we did it. It never grew to the same kind of like renown that Star Kids shows did.
Yeah.
But there was like a tiny fan base. I don't know.
Hey.
I'm still writing the second one because I want to actually do it still. but with Kingdom Hearts 3, like you were talking about, like Pixar, I gave up at the Toy Story level because it had nothing to do with the Toy Story movie. And in every like Kingdom Hearts world, it's sort of a replication of the plot of the movie that they're doing. It's just that Sora gets like mixed up in it somehow.
Okay.
But then with the third one, like they just gave up on trying to figure out a way to get Sora in there. So like Tangled, the movie scenes will just happen and Sora's just like in the background like, oh boy, what an odd circumstance. Like when they put Billy Crystal into the Oscars or whatever that was. Like Frozen just completely ignored that Sora was even there. And then the Toy Story one, they're like, quick, Toy Story, what do we have? Andy's room? Al's Toy Barn? Oh, but Al's Toy Barn's too boring. Make a new toy store and put Sora in a toy mech. Like they had to just invent all these weird ways to make the Toy Story level interesting. And then like Buzz Lightyear's like, I don't know about this, Woody. And Woody's like, we have to be like strong characters, Buzz. And I'm like, that's not the way the characters should be. It should be the other way around. Buzz should be like, oh, let's do it, Woody. But in this one, Buzz is like, gee, Woody, I don't know. And I'm like, that's not Buzz. Like none of the characters made sense. Also, like in Hearts 3, they would just skip major plot elements of Tangled. So like the next scene, she'd be like, oh, Eugene, and Sora isn't like, wait, I thought his name was Flynn. Who's Eugene? Like they never even explain it because we don't see that scene. I don't know. It's just bizarre. Here's my pitch though, because I've been talking way too long about
go for it.
My pitch would be to go in order of like earliest to latest Disney films, because I like when Sora's in like Alice in Wonderland, and I like it when he's in like sort of the older films. Even like Aladdin still worked pretty well incorporating Sora into it.
Okay.
But I really didn't enjoy, well, first of all, I didn't enjoy any of the Pixar levels. I really want to like the Monsters Inc. one, because I think the idea of them transforming is always fun.
Yeah.
But like the Nightmare Before Christmas level, great incorporation. Using the original voice actors is great. Even like Alice, like Catherine Beaumont still did the voice of Alice and Wendy in the Kingdom Hearts games.
Oh, okay.
So that's fantastic. Yeah. She like still has the same voice when she was a kid doing that. So I would just go in order, and then you can still use the whole princess thing. The whole like we need to collect the princess's heart or whatever the villain plot is. But yeah, start from like the beginning of Disney history and then sort of work your way through.
So let me ask you, since you said that, and it's a television show, so like essentially we can do this. Would you think, or what do you think of putting it Sora as a 3D animated, character in like a 2D world, and then, like all the other ones, or would you just do whole thing?
They do like incorporate art style into it.
Okay.
But like the games are largely 3D.
Gotcha.
So there's a part where they go back in time to when the Disney castle is just being built. And so like Sora, like Donald and Goofy look the way they did back in like the 30 or the 40s cartoons.
Okay.
And Sora's like a ball and pipe type like character. Is that the term? What's the term when you're like the arms are like hoses rather than have limbs?
There's
like Bendy and the Ink Machine style,
yeah,
like old
yeah.
Mickey Mouse, like old Iwerks cartoons.
Uh-huh.
Sora looks like that.
Okay.
I would prefer like Jake and the Neverland Pirates actually do like really good with the 2D art style.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's built in 3D, but then it's animated to look like it's 2D, or like the sort of filters they put on it. Or even like Lion Guard does the same thing. Mercury Filmworks. You guys are awesome. That's what they do with the Mickey Mouse cartoons. Like I would prefer that style. Mm-hmm. Not really like Big Hero 6 the series, but close to it. Like that. I like if it was basically an anime. Like if the art style was an anime, I think it would work perfect.
Yeah,
it's
right. That would
manga.
be cool.
Just make it an anime.
So like what they did with Big Hero 6.
Yeah,
Big Hero 6 is a 3D
that,
animated animation for the movie, and then they went in and they did 2D kind of stylized.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Gosh, I like the fact
Spencer,
that...
you okay there?
Spencer?
Spencer's just laughing.
What happened, Spence?
It's manga.
Oh!
Sorry.
Okay, so, and this is the frustrating thing about living in Japan and learning Japanese is like, I have so many incorrect pronunciations like built into my mind, like karaoke, and I have to unlearn them, and like it breaks my brain a little bit when I hear...
Yeah, wait a minute.
Karaoke.
Karaoke.
Oh, okay.
Karaoke. But it just, I'm sorry, Tyler, it's nothing against you. I promise, like, you are great, and I like you, and you are awesome. I'm sorry. I just, like, it's something that still breaks my brain a little bit, and I'm trying, like, to be a nice person about it. I don't want to be the guy who's like, actually, it's pronounced spaghetti. Like that kind of thing.
Excuse me.
When people call it nara
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Well, actually, you can't do
like, I don't want to be that guy.
Tyler, for your pitch,
I don't want to be that guy. I'm sorry.
I'm going to give you 3 points.
3?
3?
Oh my gosh, okay.
Well, 3 points for you.
Aren't you special?
There you go.
Oh, it's over.
You got him?
Over here. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, Jilly. We're so cool.
That was really cool. That was very well executed.
Do I like wear them? What do I do with these?
What did they turn into?
Is a fan of Hearts 2 pin.
Oh, okay.
And little like chibi Sora. Sorry, did I say it right, Spencer? Is chibi the right pronunciation?
Also, are we saying Spencer correctly?
No, it's Spencer. I'm sorry. It's Spencer. I'm sorry.
Oh man. Well, guys,
let's. No, but seriously, is that actually
I'm done
like
with
the
the show? I'm done. Just
no, don't go. We need you for this next one. We're gonna talk about Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Japan. Have you guys like I'm very, very excited for this. One, I'm a huge Nintendo just fanboy. I still have my Nintendo 64, still have my GameCube, still have my Wii U. It was the Wii and then a Wii U. I still have my Wii U.
Yeah.
I have a Switch. I play Mario all the, like, I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy. So when they announced this, I was just extremely excited. Just for this, like, period. And after what Universal did with Harry Potter, because they were able to really like bring up their game, you know, on theming, just on everything. This is crazy. There's concept art. So concept art came out for the land first. So there's that. That's a model. That was a leaked model that came out for...
That's insane.
For the Mario, like the Super Nintendo world. Mario Kart back there, you walk in through like Bowser's Castle. Then there's like these little Yoshis on the right-hand side. That's actually going to be like a ride. Yeah. It's a ride.
It's like a little Omnimover kind of ride.
Yeah, kind of like an Omnimover ride. And it's cool because it looks like it's going to be mostly outdoors, which I don't know how they're going to do that here in Orlando. Like, Orlando, there's rain, like, all the time kind of thing. Like, I don't know how it is.
Toy Story Land, just don't.
Yeah, like, I don't know how it is in Japan. Hollywood, I know, like, doesn't rain that much kind of thing, but, like, I don't know what they're doing here.
We actually have a tornado warning right now.
Oh, well, look at that.
Oh, gosh.
We have a rainy season, but it's not usually raining like all the time. In Japan, we have we have 5 seasons actually. We have winter, spring, rain, summer, and autumn. That's how it works here. And the worst thing about summer is it is more humid than it is in Florida. So that's going to be fun having everything outside. It is miserably humid every day for 2 months.
No. It's just... Ugh. But Japan is going to be the first park to open their Nintendo World area, their Super Nintendo World area, and we got an aerial footage, which shows like basically pretty complete area, like no lie. And this photo is provided by, I'm gonna spell out the user's name. It's IMAIKO02 on Instagram. But yeah, and it's crazy because you can see pretty much everything that was, you know, in the concept art. I love the fact that it's 2 stories. Like, it looks like there's going to be things on the bottom. You're going to be entering. Oh, the entrance is just crazy. So the entrance is outside of this area, and then you walk through a
green tunnel.
Yeah, like a warp pipe. You walk through the warp pipe to get into the land, kind of like what they did with like Diagon. That it's like you go and then it's just like a facade.
Yeah.
And then it's like, ooh, like what's
Star
behind
Wars.
this?
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool.
They're bad Galaxy's Edge tunnel.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mention it.
Oh, sorry.
That's why I didn't mention it.
This is going to be the best transition since Toy Story Land to Galaxy's Edge.
Oh man. But with that model also leaked another model for a completely different land that wasn't even announced. This part right here, which is Donkey Kong like themed.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, and to this day I don't think Universal has officially said that this was coming, kind of thing.
Can I talk about that coaster?
Yeah.
There was plans. If you look at the top right, there's the big barrel with the arrow.
Yep.
And then slightly to the left of it, there's the waterfall with like a mine cart.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, the concept was that the track, it's like test track where the actual track is below. So this minecart track is basically a facade. The actual coaster track is under it. So when you come shooting out of that barrel, it feels and looks like you have flown off the track.
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic concept if it's executed correctly.
Correct. That's the thing. If it's executed very well, it's going to rock. It's totally going to rock. And the weird thing is that, again, Super Nintendo World is going into Orlando, it's going into Hollywood, and it's going into Universal Studios Japan. But, again, they haven't announced this other section of Super Nintendo World kind of thing. But if you look at the concept art of Epic Universe, which is the 3rd Universal Studios park here in Orlando, that section right there is essentially what Nintendo's going to be. And that Mario themed section is to the right, that beginning section there. And in the back of that, you can clearly see that looks just like that model.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool. But the thing is, and this is your question, guys, this proves, I would say, unofficially, but it proves that it's going into Epic Universe here in Orlando.
Yeah.
Japan, Hollywood, haven't said anything. There's no concept art, there's no nothing for those lands. Why would they put Donkey Kong in all 3 parks? I think it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
So if it's not Donkey Kong going into Japan, because they have space to expand in Japan, can we bring that up, that aerial footage one more time, please? If you look at that section, if you go like in the middle of the photo and to the left where those, like, it looks like a bus is there, that area right there looks like expansion area, and there's a little tiny like archway right underneath that kind of looks like you would be able to walk through there to go into that new land or to that adjacent land. So yeah, what adjacent land would you want to see in Universal Studios Japan if it's not Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
Like, Tyler, what do you think?
I mean, I'm putting so many hours into Breath of the Wild right now,
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda, and like it's probably my favorite of any Zelda game I've ever played. Like everything is done so well, except dungeons, but whatever. I would love to have some kind of Zelda area. I don't know how you would do it, where you'd get that sense of adventure. Like like maybe you can get to adventure. Like I just want to walk around some villages and buy and eat some weird food.
Yeah.
To be completely honest. But like, we never did anything like this on Ride Rehab yet. So I'm like, what would I put for like a Zelda ride? I guess like some kind of dark ride that's like a dungeon, like maybe a trackless ride that's like going through a Zelda dungeon, maybe one that has like different pathways.
Okay.
I just think would be super cool. I don't know how you would do that, like a Sheikah ride vehicle of some kind.
No, but I like that though.
Cool. You touch the, like it lights up with all like the cool like Sheikah like blue stones and everything like that, and then you like go through a dungeon. I don't know, maybe see some animatronic Link or something, or your Link. I don't know. You have like a little sword.
Ooh,
can,
okay,
like,
yeah.
VR slash it stuff, or not VR? What's it called? AR kind of stuff.
Yeah, like what they're doing with Spider-Man and
yeah,
and just like webbing.
That'd be cool.
Honestly, that sounds cool. And I think that there's a big fan base for Zelda, just in general kind of thing. And it would be cool to kind of like see that. Would you have, because you said the ride could be animatronic, maybe your Zelda. Would you have like Zelda characters?
Sorry, did I say your Zelda? I meant your Link. Sorry, did
Link.
I say Zelda?
Link.
Did I say Zelda? I don't remember.
Oh, I have no idea
you
now.
Said Link. You said Link.
You said Link.
Okay.
I said Zelda.
Sorry.
The funny thing is that I used to have a friend that used to love Zelda, and I would just do that just to annoy him. So I guess I just did that subconsciously, not understanding what I was doing.
It's okay.
But your Link, would you have Zelda characters walking around, or like a specific like area that you can see them or meet them or something like that? Or would you be like, would it be kind of like what they do with Harry Potter? And
I'm all for a meet and greet with Prince Sidon.
Okay.
I'm gonna be completely honest.
Oh Jesus!
But
Ulterior
I
motives.
don't know. There's the beetle character that walks around, and he'd be like one of those fun walk around characters, meet and greet. He can like just be like, you have anything to sell, and you could just take out stuff from like your fanny pack and be like, I got some weird stuff, and he just laugh at you, like push the talking trash can, but it's Beetle. Or I don't know. There is a lot of Zelda characters across like all the games. It'd be very easy to like drop in any meet and greet kind of, not meet and greet characters, but like walk around characters. Sorry, there's a kid in the hallway desperately crying for his mom over and over again. I don't know if you could hear that. But yeah, like walk around, like I guess you'd have to have like a village and then like the forest, and then like I would just love if there was any theme park did a very advanced escape room in general. Ooh, I think that'd be really cool. Or even just like more walkthrough things, not necessarily during like a horror one, but just a walkthrough of like a temple or a dungeon or something. I think that would be really cool.
I like that. I'm all for escape rooms, and same as you, I've always thought like Universal, Disney, like someone needs to do an escape room.
Yeah.
Like honestly, actually right below our studios we have Escapology, and they have a Scooby-Doo themed escape room, and I did that a couple months ago. Yeah. And it's actually kind of new. So depending on when, like everything opens up and when you are coming down, you might still be able to do it.
I love Scooby-Doo.
But it's so cool. It's honestly so cool because they have the actors that provided the voice for the characters come back to do the room, and it's all just like highly, highly themed. Yeah. I love it.
That sounds wicked.
I love it. I love it. I love it. One thing that people don't know about me, because I don't talk about it as much, I'm a huge Scooby-Doo fan. I love Disney, love Pixar, love, Harry Potter, but Scooby-Doo, gosh, love it, love it, love it. Just all Hanna Barbera.
Who's your favorite Scooby-Doo character?
My favorite Scooby-Doo character, Velma.
Mine too.
Yeah, okay. Velma for sure.
I love Velma.
I love it.
Jinkies.
And the live-action Scooby-Doo movies.
Oh yes.
I'm going off track.
Sorry,
I brought
definitely.
You off that. Yeah. No, you're good.
Talk.
Well, actually, yeah, we should talk about that in another episode.
Really quickly, there should be a Scooby-Doo IP land at some theme park somewhere. That needs to happen. Carry on.
What park? What Warner Brothers park?
We're definitely going to write that down, and we'll talk about that in a future episode, because I'm so down. But no, Tyler, I'm going to give you 3 again. Oh, yeah. 3 points again.
That's not fair. He took the good one.
Hey, you never know. You got him? There we go.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. But yeah, no, I love the idea of Zelda, because I love especially with like Breath of the Wild, I believe it's called, the whole like just being able to like explore.
Yeah.
I think is such a cool concept, and to bring that into like a theme park.
Yeah.
Would be just mind blowing. You want to go, Jelly?
I mean, I don't have anything as creative, if I'm being honest.
Go for it.
I feel like Zelda was in my. Oh, dear Lord. If that didn't get picked up, that was just some intense thunder. Yes.
It was.
I feel like
I heard that.
Zelda was like the thing to do if you were going to expand it. It's the most popular.
Okay.
Outside of Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And so honestly, if I were to just make another adjacent land, I don't know if this is cheating, but I would just kind of use different lands from like Super Mario games. So like from Mario Party, right?
Okay.
Yeah, Mario Party. So like the icy land, like the snow.
Got
like
you.
The snow, or the desert.
Okay.
My always favorite was level 4, where everything was big.
Yes.
I used to use a cheat code just so I can get to level 4 and be where the big things are. But yeah, I would just maybe just theming different places, like different levels of Super Mario.
Okay.
Would be pretty cool. Or it's already having a Mario Kart ride within it, right?
The mainland will already have a Mario Kart ride,
yeah. And I feel like visually looking at that, it's kind of just based off of like
a bunch of
like just a regular like Mario, like level 1 Mario looking things.
Yeah.
In Mario Kart, like just that world. So I feel like expanding on that might be cool to have. Yeah. I mean, I think it would be awesome just to like walk into a park and everything feel like it's
just, like,
snowy.
huge. Oh yeah.
And icy. I don't think there's a park in the world that's themed to a different climate altogether.
Yeah, no, like if you think about it, like Hogsmeade, Hogsmeade is like snow,
but not on that level.
Yeah, not at that level.
I
want to
feel like I'm walking on
Blizzard
ice.
Beach?
Blizzard Beach?
No,
I think that the problem with that is you would have to put it indoors so that it could be climate controlled.
Well,
also, like walking into that land and you're freezing cold?
You know what I keep thinking about? You ever see the Santa Claus 3?
Yeah.
When
Of course I have.
Oh God.
When Jack Frost
were
becomes.
Were you not? Did you not pay attention to on Thursday's show?
I guess
I'm apparently the person that watches really bad movies.
Oh.
I'm gonna stick by
I
Ghostbusters.
like the third one. I like all the ones with Elizabeth Mitchell. But when Jack Frost becomes Santa and then he makes it into a theme park,
yes.
That's what I'm thinking in my head.
That's actually a great idea, honestly. Like
that's just what I want.
Okay.
But Mario themed.
I'm gonna give you 2 points for that.
But Martin Short should also be there.
Okay, wait, hold on. Who is Martin Short gonna play?
Luigi.
Martin Short is Luigi? Okay, you get 3 points for that. Anything Martin Short. Anything Martin Short, I'm down for.
Well, take notes. That's how you get points on this show.
Martin
Put
Short.
Martin Short into it. Spencer,
what's your pitch, buddy?
so,
how are you gonna put Martin Short?
we're gonna start with a. We're gonna start with a giant statue of Martin Short as Luigi. In the
Hey. Looks like Spence is getting a point.
So hang on. So just real quick, bring up the aerial photo again of Super Nintendo Land.
Super Nintendo Land
please.
aerial.
So
Bring up a picture of
if you
Ariel.
look at, if you look over on the upper wall, you can see like palm trees and stuff. And honestly, the way that area is themed makes me think that they will put Donkey Kong in that little box.
Yeah.
Because that kind of looks like how they're transitioning it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a theory. A game theory.
I don't think we can say that.
We can. We just shouldn't. In all reality, like, I tried to think of different IPs that would fit well there.
Mm-hmm.
Donkey Kong doesn't feel as universal as Mario is, which
Yeah.
makes me question why they would be so intent on that. And Zelda, the problem with Zelda is that is a very small plot. Super Nintendo Land is a very small plot. Like, if you really look, it's really small. And it tempered my expectations about it a little bit. I think that if you're going to do something Zelda, it would have to be big. It would have to be like Galaxy's Edge size or larger, at least. You need a lot of space for that adventure feel.
Mm-hmm.
The only other really iconic Nintendo IP I can think of that has this mass universal appeal is Pokémon. I think that a Pokemon-themed land at an amusement park is well overdue.
Yeah. Gosh.
You could easily like have an area where it's like set up where you're like catching Pokemon in AR or something, kind of like Pokemon Go, but maybe you have like glasses on or something and you're like in the grass and you're catching Pokemon, and you can easily make attractions just based on the concept of battling. I mean, there's so many ways that you could really create and make a Pokemon themed land fun because it's such a broad universe.
Yeah.
I really don't doubt that whether they would base it more on the anime or on the games, the possibilities really are endless. I think that I don't have specifics, unfortunately, but I really think that it's an idea that would universally appeal to people. Plus, you have, for Pokemon, I think Mario and Pokemon are the only two franchises where you could really have like successful meet and greets. You could have like Pikachu and then whatever the latest starters are or whatever that people are all about.
That's
you
true.
know, get your picture and then like get your picture taken with Charizard or whatever. I mean, there's so much you could do with a Pokemon land, even in a small space. I think it'd be very doable.
Yeah, the cool thing about this is that, so this, like, your concept is not the first Pokemon-themed like park. There has been other ones, and if I'm not mistaken, it's only been in Japan. But the downfall...
It was like a temporary thing, and
Correct.
it was like more of a carnival where
Yep.
they just slapped Pokemon theming on off-the-shelf rides.
Yes, that's exactly what I was just about to say. The downfall of that was the fact that they just slapped Pokemon. It was cool for the, to think of, oh my gosh, there's a Pokemon like theme park, kind of thing. But as soon as you got there, it was kind of like, wah, wah, what the heck is this? But yeah, like being able to actually walk into the world, and I think the hard thing about a Pokemon like themed area would be because of the fact that Pokemon is such like different, what do you call them? Like there's Johto, and there's there's a bunch of areas or regions.
Region.
Yeah. That like I don't know, like I would want to see. I'm a first gen person. I like first gen, second gen. I can care less about anything else. But that's just me. There's too many Pokemon right now. Like I can't like. At first, when I was a kid, it was like 150.
Hoenn is awesome.
Say it again.
Hoenn is awesome. That is sacrilege. Like Gen 3 and to a lesser extent Gen 4 are great, but that's where it ends for me. Like I will take the first 4.
It's funny because a lot of people tell me that. A lot of people, when I say that I'm a Gen 1, Gen 2 person, people always tell me, oh no, but Gen 3 and 4, and then after that it falls off.
Well, here's the thing, like, Pokemon Sapphire was my first video game. Like, that's the first game I ever remember playing. So I obviously have, like, a lot of nostalgic ties to Gen 3.
Yeah.
And then I was in elementary school when Gen 4 came out, and it was like, oh, you'd bring your DSs to recess and you'd trade Pokemon. Like, that... I went back 3 years ago, I think, and I played through Pokemon Platinum again, and I felt like it still held up.
Oh, okay.
The same goes for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are probably the best games that have ever been created for Pokemon. You are taking two fantastic games, and it unlike the other much more disappointing remakes, Heart Gold and Soul Silver really felt like the best way to not only pay tribute to Gold, Silver, and Crystal, but build from them. And I think if you were doing a Pokemon Land, it would probably be based on Gen 1 Kanto, maybe Gen 2 Johto, because those are the most universally appealing. Everyone knows the first 150.
Yeah.
I think that would be the direction to go, would be to base it on Kanto. You have like Pallet Town kind of thing, or maybe you have Lavender Town. Like, there's so many different things you could do. You could make it a park. It could be its own park.
Yeah.
But if you're just doing a land, I think that Kanto would be the best decision to have that baseline.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Spencer, you're getting 3 points for your Pokemon pitch.
Woo!
Pokemon. So there we go. Where are you? You're down here. Sorry.
There we go.
There we go.
Somebody said something amazing in the chat. Shornforge said that there should be a Super Smash Bros. Stunt show spectacular.
Ooh.
I think that's an amazing idea.
I like that.
That is a good idea.
And guys, actually, talking about Pokemon, that's why I'm actually wearing this shirt. If you guys want, next week is Scott. Scott's going to be playing for WDWNT Play? Is that what plays? Oh, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Play. And as of right now, he's playing Pokemon Gold. No, Pokemon Green? Leaf Green. Scott, you're in there. What are you playing?
He's playing Leaf Green.
Leaf Green. I always mix them up because Scott's playing the remakes of the first gen, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's playing.
Which one?
The
There's
remakes.
like 4 remakes.
So yeah, he's playing Leaf Green. So if you guys want to catch that and you guys are Pokemon, there we go. You guys are Pokemon fans. You guys can see that next Saturday at 5. But yeah, that was cool. That was good. And I saw a little bit of him playing, and gosh, I have Ruby Red, Fire Red. I don't know. I have the other one.
Wow, what a fake fan.
I have the other one.
I know. Fake fan.
I gotta go grab something now.
I don't know. I have the other one. But I've been playing it since I saw Scott playing Leaf Green. So it's cool. But yeah, guys, we're gonna take a commercial break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about the Gaston and Lefou Disney Plus show.
I have a lot of feelings.
A lot of feelings for that. We're also going to be talking about possibly seeing Quicksilver in the MCU. Who knows? But stick around. We'll be right back.
Pressing Issues is the spin-off of the WDW News Today podcast segment as a long-form panel discussion in which some of the brightest minds of WDWNT analyze the biggest stories of the week and their impact on the Walt Disney Company, its parks, guests, and cast members. Join us every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, or afterward on the WDW News Today podcast feed.
Dreamfinders is WDW News Today's podcast all about the creative culture surrounding Disney parks. Authors, Imagineers, dancers, actors, photographers, filmmakers, and a whole lot more have all stopped by to chat about how Disney has inspired their artistic work.
But I still remember sitting in conference tables and looking across at Michael and Jeffrey Katzenberg and the sort of little 6-year-old inside of me going, what in heaven's name is going on here?
And we're off and running, and Tony needs someone to lay it out for him. And there's no architect available. So the next thing I know, I'm laying out the pavilion.
I got to tell you, I have not enjoyed a podcast so much. It's just a warm conversation, and warm and intelligent conversation, which you don't find that often in podcasts.
Dreamfinders. Episodes drop every other Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcatcher.
Coming this summer to theaters. Maybe. If not, it'll be streaming on something.
All right, you idiots, get in here.
Yes, Mr. Barhammer?
I need a new flesh creatures exhibit for my entirely animatronic staffed theme park, Robo Mountain. So get to Earth and steal me some animals.
Well, where on Earth do we get these animals from? How about this place? Animal Kingdom Lodge.
When the animals of Animal Kingdom Lodge are kidnapped.
We animals challenge you, animatronics, to a game of basketball. If we lose, you can put us in your exhibit.
Well, yeah, but if we win, you have to leave Earth forever.
You giraffes and zebras don't even have hands. You've got 3 days to prepare.
Well, what are we gonna do? We don't know how to play basketball. We're animals, for crying out loud.
We may not know, but all the NBA players staying at our hotel might.
Welcome to Safari Jam!
Now, the animals and the NBA players staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge Jumbo House will have to pull off the win of the century.
Bill Murray? What are you doing here?
I'm here to train you. Now let's get all you wild party animals to the NBA experience at Disney Springs.
Featuring the voices of the biggest stars in the Savannah. Josh Gad, Idina Menzel, Kristen Bell, Kristen Stewart, Kristen Wiig, Christina Aguilera, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Safari Jam. Running wild this summer on ESPN+.
All right.
4 panelists, 30 minutes, 1 week in Disney Parks news. This is Parks Center. On Parks Center, the panel and I cover the top 7...
7?
Yeah, 7 Disney Park stories of the past week. From attraction news to transportation scandals to new food and merchandise, we'll cover it all in 30 minutes or less. You can watch us stream live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. at www.intunes.com, watch episodes on demand at youtube.com/wdwnt, or subscribe to the audio version of the show on your favorite podcast app.
WDW News Tonight is our weekly comedy show combining the news of the week, comedy segments, thoughtful discussions, insane characters, parody commercials, games, and more. Watch live on Thursdays at 9 p.m. and become a Wigs member to get access to a bonus post show. Watch WDW News Tonight episodes anytime and live on YouTube, or get the audio-only version on iTunes and other podcast services.
Hey guys, welcome back to Geekly Kingdom. I'm your host, Eric Wolf, and we are joined today by our lovely panel. We got Jilly. Was that Mike Wazowski?
Yeah, you were Mike Wazowski this time.
We got Jilly with us.
Stealing my jokes. I made that joke before we were on air, so
You
I would
didn't
like
say it
everyone
on
to
air.
know that it was stolen.
I took,
property.
We got Spencer.
Good morning.
And we got Tyler.
Hi, I was just going through something and I found some pure nostalgia that still works right here.
Beautiful.
Hey.
Love it. Watch out, it's about to die. Red light.
There we go. No, that means it's fine. It's Pokemon Blue, too. Like,
Oh.
it still works. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, I'm just going to be doing this the rest of the show now.
I miss my
I'll turn
Game
that
Boy.
I'm
I
glad
remember
know.
having a Game Boy.
Guys, the reason why
That
we're
was
talking about Nintendo and Pokemon, we talked earlier about the Kingdom Hearts series that's possibly coming to Disney Plus, and Super Nintendo World, and what adjacent land we would like to see in Universal Studios Japan. So yeah, our next discussion though is going to be another TV show that's in the works. It is the Gaston and Lefou Disney Plus series. Yeah. So the cool thing about this, like, Josh Gad and Luke Evans are coming back to reprise their roles. And this is based on the 2017 live-action Beauty and the Beast. You know, just so everyone knows. But Alan Menken said a little while ago when he was interviewed, he was talking about the Enchanted sequel. He was talking about the Little Mermaid live-action movie, and he mentioned that he was working on music for this new Gaston and Lefou TV show. And just about a couple weeks ago, Josh Gad on Twitter tweeted something about this. So yeah, he said, this week I may or may not have heard a few new Alan Menken songs for something in the works, and I may or may not be quaking with excitement. It's no surprise this is going to be a musical. Like, not at all. I'm actually glad that they went musical route, because I would have been really, like, just, I don't know. I wouldn't be mad, but I'd be, like, disappointed that it wasn't a musical kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not that Josh, you know, like, I'm a Josh Gad fan.
Yeah.
You know, like, I like Josh Gad. I wouldn't say I'm a super fan. I don't think he needs to be in everything kind of thing. But Lefou, Josh Gad, perfect fit. Josh Gad, Olaf, perfect fit kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to see them kind of.
But also, I just feel like Beauty and the Beast music is always so good. Like even the Enchanted Christmas, the music is so good in it.
Yeah.
And I know it's not like as beloved, but like that. What's the song the angel sings?
Oh, what's the name of that song?
It's such a good song, and I can't even remember it.
I don't.
Oh gosh. Oh,
but Bernadette Peters sings it.
Yeah.
Which is,
as long as there's Christmas,
there
I
we go.
truly believe.
Such a good song. Such a good song.
And Tim Curry's the voice of the organ.
Yeah. No. It's a great cast, great music.
Yeah.
And Alan Menken, even the new songs that Alan Menken made for the live-action Beauty and the Beast.
True.
Like the ones that weren't in the original, I thought were pretty good. What did you like? When you guys hear about, you know, Josh Gad, Luke Evans coming back for a whole new kind of like possibly prequel, who knows, kind of TV show, are you guys excited? Do you guys kind of want to leave that live action movie alone?
I'm gonna hop in.
Will they use less auto-tune in the TV show?
Well, I mean,
If
Emma
yes,
Watson's not in
then I
it,
might
so
be
there's
excited.
something.
Yeah, she has a point.
Fair enough.
I have a lot of hot takes on the subject.
So do I. I also think that Emma Watson can actually sing, and it would have been better if she hadn't been auto-tuned, but that's different. I think that as long as they don't try to make this the same kind of thing as like the Beauty and the Beast sing-along at Epcot, I think that this will be fine. I don't think it'll be great, but I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be one of those. It's not like The Mandalorian, but it'll be like The World According to Jeff Goldblum, where it doesn't blow your mind, but it's okay. You watch it. You know.
My big thing is the writers for this spin-off series are Eddie Kitsis and Adam Horowitz, who actually, what we were talking about earlier, wrote Once Upon a Time. And it was good for the beginning, but Once Upon a Time, but then they lost their way. And I think that they have trouble with certain storylines, and
You see, I disagree.
you do.
I disagree only because they've come out and said that it was executives in ABC that were putting their hands.
We're gonna have the same issue.
But are we? Like, we might not.
Yeah.
You know, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I agree with you.
I feel
As a
like-
Once Upon a Time fan, I totally agree with
I
you.
feel like it was more of the executive. I mean, I wasn't there. No, neither of us
yeah,
were.
yeah.
But I feel like it was more of the executives being like, "You need to, put Frozen into this, and you need to do this." Than more of the actual writing portion of it. I think it was more of what to use than actually what to. My big thing is that, and I know me and Tyler were kind of talking about this, and it's the fact that Lefou is one of the first gay characters in a Disney movie that was blatantly.
I was not saying he was.
Oh, I'm saying it. I think.
You think so?
End of that movie is, I think it's very blatantly obvious Lefou is gay. No?
Okay.
No? Am I the only one? I was very excited in the movie
The
theater.
last time, the last time I saw that movie was when it was in theaters, and I have not cared to watch it since. So
I mean, yeah, it's not great,
I couldn't.
but
You're okay.
all right. So then, this is my hot take. That
Yeah, go.
I guess I believe that Lefou is a gay character, and I would
Okay.
like to go forward with that thought and explore that. And I think a big problem with Once Upon a Time, personally, was their handling of LGBT characters. And I think they got a lot of pressure from outside people because they set up some storylines, they set up some stuff, and never followed through with it.
Yeah.
Specifically, like the Mulan and Aurora thing,
Aurora
they
thing,
just could not follow through with it. I know that, and this is just a fandom part, that there was a big fandom for Emma and Regina, which could have been a great story, never followed through with it. And then they kind of just like half-baked this whole Red Riding Hood Dorothy thing that lasted an episode, and they were like, here, be happy with it.
Gosh, I totally even forgot about that.
Yeah, because it happened in one episode and everyone
Yeah.
forgot about it, and it was stupid. And so I
that
think they were just
a
like,
thing?
here, be happy with that. You should be happy with it. And
Okay.
it's like, I'm not.
Yeah.
So they worry me. Because I just, I don't think they know how to handle, I think they're, I don't want to be rude. I don't know these men personally. But like, I feel like they have the things that they enjoy and they know, and they're kind of creating stuff for people who are like them.
Okay.
And not for a wide array of people.
Do you think because Lefou is gay,
Yeah.
do you think it would have been better if they would have gotten people behind the scenes that were also LGBTQ?
I mean, I'm not saying you have to hire a gay person to write a gay role.
No, not the
yeah.
role, but do you think like the
No, that's what I mean. I'm not saying you have to have someone. I just mean their track record of inserting that into their
into their already
or is not
established.
great.
Okay.
Notoriously, I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, I was very big into Once Upon a Time, so I was very up on everything that was going on, and people were mad. I being one of them.
I feel you.
So I just think I think that's an important thing to cover.
Yeah.
Not that, I mean, I don't expect Lefou and, like, in my head, I'm not saying I want a Lefou and Gaston love story. That's not what I'm saying. I just want to acknowledge the fact of that Lefou is a gay character. That is all I'm saying.
Yeah. I totally get you.
Just, you know.
Anyone else? Thoughts? No?
I think that'd be something fun to explore, but I'll leave that to Tyler because it sounded like he had an opinion and then didn't get to say it.
Yeah. Sorry, I got angry.
Oh, no. I was waiting. Oh God, like you mentioned Once Upon a Time, and I just sorry I said this in chat. It's the most corporate fairy tale, hot topic Tumblr pandering of a show I've ever seen in my life. Frozen came out.
That is actually the
shove them in there, but that doesn't help the story.
Yeah,
who cares?
That is the greatest description I've ever heard for Once Upon a Time. Actually, like I cannot believe I've never thought of that. It's brilliant.
But it's so true.
Because I remember when it first came out. And I was like, oh, this is going to be really good. And then after like the first few seasons, I'm like, okay, it feels like they're just corporating for the sake of corporating at this point.
The thing that kind of sucks is that I remember watching interviews and watching, things, even at like conventions and stuff like that, of the showrunners of Once Upon a Time, like saying, oh yeah, we've already thought of, like, we're three seasons ahead, like thinking and stuff like that. So like, was it true? Was it not true?
Yeah.
Was it true? And then Disney or ABC executives were like, hey, like Frozen's a big hit. Like you have to kind of put in Frozen in here. And then them trying to like shuffle and like find something.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, but yeah.
I'd like to think that that's what it was.
I would like to think that too.
We can give them the
They
benefit.
had their plan and then they were forced to change it.
Yeah,
but
like I don't know.
I still have doubts about this pair doing a show that lasts longer than 1 or 2 seasons. I really want to believe that they can.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they can.
But then I guess that also brings up another question. Does a Gaston Lefou show even need more than 1 season?
Yeah, isn't it only supposed to be like a mini-series thing? I think I
guess
read it
like
was
12 episodes, maybe.
Right? Like,
do that, and then that's it.
And then that's it. Kind of leave it alone.
14 minutes each.
It's like give Josh Gad the money that he wants, because obviously he's the person behind this.
Yeah.
So give it to him, and then we can move on. Tyler, did you have anything else to add, though?
I had many more things to add.
Yes,
Go for it.
Jilly was he's gay. It's like there was the whole thing with like Lando Calrissian, and they're like, he's bisexual because somebody asked, and I'm totally quoting Red Letter Media here. They were like, somebody went up to them and they're like, oh, can he be bisexual? And you're not going to say no. So they go, sure. And then the articles and headlines are all Lando's bisexual. And then it's not in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, somebody watched this movie and they're like, oh boy, he looks at a man in a dress, which is played off for comedy and not to be taken seriously or like appropriately at all. And they're like, oh, so he's gay, right? And they're like, yeah. And then they're like, hey, look, everyone, Lefou is gay. This weaselly, snidely, awful character from the original cartoon is gay. Give us pats on the back because we're progressive. And Red Letter Media uses the term passive progressive, which I completely agree with. I'm watching The Hollow on Netflix. It's this Canadian animated show. First 2 episodes, kid has a pride flag on his wall. And then he goes, you don't have to worry about me and that girl. I'm gay. And I'm halfway through the season, and it's never come up again. Mm-hmm. It's not enough to just say, I'm gay. Oh, and then, nothing else after that. The Pixar short Out.
Yeah.
I had I didn't want to go into it with a checklist of things they should be doing, but I had a checklist of things and it did all of it. It was, they kiss in the short. They openly make it about, It's not about like an overbearing dad being like, oh, I'm manly and my son is straight or not straight. I don't love him anymore. It's not that either. It's not a bunch of things. And that short was done exemplary for what LGBT characters should be.
And honestly, shameless plug here. If you guys want to read a review, Tyler did a great one, and it's on the www.nt.com. You guys can search for it there. But yeah, no, he did a great review on that. Go ahead, Tyler. I just had to plug that.
No, of course, it was a surprisingly good short. I'm not going to hold my breath for Disney to make good gay characters. And I'm certainly not going to hold my breath for them to make some gay princes. There's already a podcast called The Two Princes. I'd much suggest people go listen to that. Christine Baranski is in it, by the way. From Mamma Mia. Anyways, it's like a radio play. But that being like, I'm not going to look to Disney, or I'm not going to stand behind Disney for any of their LGBT stuff. Hearing the fact that like Alex Hirsch wanted the gay cops in Gravity Falls and they told him no, and he went, why? And they didn't have a good reason. And then in the last episode, they're like, oh yeah, sure, it's the final episode of your show, go ahead. And then then he just did whatever he could in that final episode. Like, poor Alex Hirsch, you just wanted to do something fun and interesting with these side characters, and then they're like, it's not doesn't fit with our family vision or whatever the crap is. Can I say crap? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have even acknowledged that I said it. Whatever Disney's like trying to stand behind or not stand behind, or be like. That being said, here is what I want the show to be.
Yeah, so question for everyone is, what do you want the show to be? You know, like, what do you want to see in this Lefou and Gaston, or Gaston and Lefou TV show for Disney Plus? And yeah, Tyler, start it off.
I want Gaston to be constantly traveling, trying to hook up with different women, and Lefou silently trying to ruin that because he's in love with Gaston. So he's like, why Lefou? I'm gonna set up a whole entire boat ride across the canal with flowers and everything. And he'll be like, okay, sounds great, Gaston. And then he like traps the woman in a pit or something. And then he's like, well, sorry, Gaston, she didn't show up, but you know, I like boats. And then Gaston's like, well, you're a fine companion as ever. We might as well go on this boat ride together. Like, that's what I just quietly guess. Lefou's just trying to, like, I don't want to say trick him into going out on a date with him. But that, like, I just want it to acknowledge in the most comedic way. Because, like, Gaston is the worst.
Yeah.
Everyone, just take a moment. Without describing Gaston's looks, what do we know about Gaston? What are some words you could use to describe him?
Self-centered.
Misogynistic.
Yes. Full of himself. That's pretty much the same thing that I just said.
Sexist. I think
Is that something a main character you want to like?
The same words for selfish and misogynistic, but in other ways.
Yeah. Like, the best thing about British comedy is that main characters of like Father Ted, Fawlty Towers, Toast of London, they're all the worst. And so the enjoyment we get out of watching the show is watching them just be treated horribly, because you're like, good, because they are terrible people. Like the original Office, Ricky Gervais's character is a terrible boss.
Yeah.
And so when something bad happens to him, we laugh at him and it's enjoyable. Or even Fawlty Towers, like Basil Fawlty's a terrible human being. Yeah, it's so when those bad things happen to those characters, we enjoy it and we laugh at them.
Yeah.
And so like that's the only way I feel like you can do Gaston, is like to acknowledge he's like the worst person in the world.
Yeah.
And then have horrible things keep happening to him, like Biff from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
It's like every episode, just like throw him in a pit of manure or whatever. I don't care. And then we can all go, haha, look at that terrible person getting what came to him.
I like
that's what that show should be if they made it.
Yeah, no, I like that, and I like the fact that like you still have Lefou as like the comedic relief.
Yeah.
Like that's what he is, you know, kind of thing. That's I feel like his characteristics. That's what Disney has wrote him to be, kind of thing. But I also I like the fact that he's also being really sly, which I think Lefou is anyways, kind of thing.
Sly.
In being trying to like you said, trying to trick kind of Gaston into going out with him in these elaborate things that Gaston has planned. But yeah, no, I like that. Tyler, you get 3 points. 3 points for you. You're on this side, right? Yeah, there we go.
Just a quick thing. I realized that I had been trying to contribute to the conversation, and I made a joke, and I was wondering why no one laughed at it. And usually it's because it's not funny.
What was it?
But this time it's because I had turned off my mic when I was moving my chair, and I forgot to turn it back on. So I was trying to talk about British comedy for a second. I'm like, why is no one hearing me? And then I cracked it. I was just trying to contribute to the conversation. I'm I'm totally being ignored right now.
What
and it was
was
because my mic was muted on VMix.
What were you saying?
I was trying to talk about the thing about British comedy is people think it's such a British thing, but no one realizes how universal it is to make fun of people who are terrible people. Yeah. And it appeals to everyone. And yet people are like, oh, it's British humor. I think that is so universal that it would work even when you're primarily targeting an American audience. And the thing is, a lot of people don't necessarily expose themselves to shows like Fawlty Towers, where these people are just awful people. And so it would still be a relatively novel thing for 66% of people, probably. Mm-hmm. It would still be a very different thing. Yeah. And the other thing is, when we were what words describe Gaston? My response was, no one slick as Gaston. I started singing the song because I thought it would be good. And then no one heard it because I had my mic off.
I wish you were on.
I'm very frustrated with myself.
Oh, man. But Spencer, let us know.
The British comedy thing where you're making fun of Gaston is a good idea, Tyler. I just wanted to put that in the conversation.
Yeah. But what do you think? What would you want to see in a Gaston Lefou show?
I can't come up with a better idea than that, but I will try.
Yeah, right. It's
Short. Put Martin Short in it.
Yeah.
Martin Short.
Martin Short is Gaston's dad. Roll with that.
Oh.
Yes. The origins of how Gaston and Lefou met, and they were kids, and Martin Short is Gaston's dad, or the teacher that in the class they were in, or something baby Gaston. I don't know.
Gaston baby.
Villain baby.
Oh my god. Baby descendants, perfect.
Hey.
I really think that with Gaston and Lefou.
Gonna share that peanut butter over there, Tyler?
No, I already had a peanut butter.
Make Thomas make us a sandwich too. Where's our food?
Rude.
Hi, Thomas.
Please, don't throw it. Can't hear him. Anyway, for Gaston and Lefou, I genuinely can't come up with a better idea than Tyler. Yeah. But I really think that if they can dive into their history without making it feel forced,
mm-hmm.
it will be able to be successful. I don't want them to try and shoehorn it into this is how the events of the movie happened, like they did with the sing-along.
Yeah.
Or like try to drag out the How I Met Your Gaston kind of story. I think that,
How I Met Your Gaston.
You know, wait, no, I just thought of that something better. I'll come back to that. I think that incorporating elements of Lefou being gay without trying to make it like this token thing, like be happy about this, would be great to see, but I don't expect Disney to do it. I think that, you know, give it 6 to 12 episodes, you know, you explain how they met and the trials and tribulations and why Lefou fell in love with Gaston or something like that. I think that that would be a reasonably decent series.
Yeah.
And the theme song could be like, Gaston is the most handsome guy, like that kind of.
I like that, Spencer.
I can't hear Tyler anymore.
I like
Tyler,
the fact
muted. My computer's messing up, and it's terrible. I'm sorry.
Oh man, I like the fact that you went, back. Like I was, when I thought about this, when I thought about this prompt, like I was thinking something like that. Like obviously Josh Gad and Luke Evans are going to be on the TV show, kind of thing. But I always thought like it would be cool to see them do like flashbacks, maybe.
Yeah.
Of like adventures or just small little things that they would do. So yeah, no, I like that. Spencer, 2 points for you. Catch him.
Woo.
Oh, there we go.
Wait, I included Martin Short. I thought I got 3 points for that.
We can't ask for more points, Spencer. It's cheating.
We can ask for more points?
What? No.
I summoned the points.
DC Studios in the chat said, "The Making of Me" by Lefou.
Oh God.
Oh man. Dilly, what do you think?
I don't want to watch that.
I mean, what Tyler pitched was like pretty damn good. I don't know how I'm gonna top that. The only thing I could really think of is, at the beginning of the film they talk about the war.
Yeah.
And then being in the war. And I feel like kind of flashing back to maybe that would be interesting, seeing what they were like in the middle of it, but not make it very serious war, make it funny war.
Okay.
If you can. And kind of like, I imagine like a Gaston being like rough and tough and talking, but then at the moment it came down to like fighting, and he'd be like, "No, like Lefou, you handle it." Yeah. Like, I don't know. That's what I picture Gaston in my, like, not the face.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't come up with anything more creative. I don't expect any tokens from this. You could just give me one for being.
No.
For trying.
You're getting two.
But also,
we won't rest until the enemy's
Colonel
head
in the
is
war
on
is
my
Martin
wall.
Short.
Oh, the Colonel's Martin Short.
Yes.
No, you're getting 2 tokens for sure. I like the fact that you took something from the movie.
Thank you.
And even just that subtle little thing in the movie, and that's essentially what your show's based on. So 2 points for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's what Star Wars fans do. They take one piece of dialogue and they're like, "Oh, well, then that must mean
that must be a thing." Well, actually, talking about taking something very, very small and running with it, guys. Quicksilver could be on the MCU. Oh, I'm so excited. So Evan Peters, which if you guys don't know who he is, he's in American Horror Story, or he was. He's also Quicksilver, but not the MCU Quicksilver. He's Quicksilver from the Fox universe. Yeah. So he apparently is possibly playing a mysterious role or a mystery role in WandaVision. Mm-hmm. Which is a whole nother thing, because WandaVision, from what it seems like, and from what people are speculating, is gonna take, things from House of M, which is a comic book that essentially brings, or in the comic book, it like, she essentially like brings to life a family for herself.
Yeah.
So that's where Scarlet Witch's kids come from. But she also, like, in the comic ceases to exist, like mutants cease to exist because she says it.
Yeah.
So people are speculating for like the MCU, it could be in reverse. Yeah. We haven't seen mutants yet in the MCU, but possibly, maybe she'd be the key to bringing them into the MCU. But the cool thing about this is like, yeah, like if he, what a weird casting choice, I think, first off.
Yeah.
If you're gonna pick anyone to be in any, like MCU show or something like that, to pick him that has history with the with the Fox X-Men universe already.
Yeah.
And then apparently this comes from an LA based source, which the cool thing about this is the same source that said that Peyton Reed was signed on to do season 2 of The Mandalorian and that has come to fruition.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you know, concrete source. But yeah, apparently he landed the role late last year and has already shot his scenes. Which is another thing, because it's like, okay, is it short scenes? Is it like very small things? Because I can definitely see that myself.
Yeah. Is it a flashback?
Is it a flashback? Is it just is this proof that she is essentially going to open up the multiverse?
Yeah.
And he's appearing as Quicksilver because he is part of, you know, like and the fact that her brother Quicksilver in the MCU, her brother is dead.
Yeah.
Maybe she's reaching out, you know, like somewhere for a brother.
Yeah.
And the one that we get is that Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Like, what a weird concept.
Yeah, it's trippy.
It's so trippy. Like, so guys, when you guys hear, you know, Evan Peters on possibly in WandaVision, does it excite you? Are you guys also like theorizing like me? And it's just like, oh my gosh, Quicksilver. This is it. This is how we get the Fox universe with the Marvel universe, and we're merging it all together. Like, what? Or is it just me?
I mean, just on a standpoint of Evan Peters, I'm always a fan of Evan Peters and stuff.
Yeah, he's great.
I mean, ever since he played that boy who was in a coma in Sleepover. I don't know if anyone's a fan of that Alexa Vega film.
Oh my gosh!
From like 2005.
I know what movie you're talking about. That's hilarious.
But yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I mean, it's weird.
It's weird.
Because, like, I feel like casting of all the people, if you're going to bring him in as a different character, that's weird.
Like, why would you do it?
Exactly. So, like, yeah, I don't know.
Like, I'll give him credit. Great actor, great everything.
Yeah.
But, like, why?
Yeah, but I feel like if you're watching WandaVision, you're going to have knowledge of, like, everything else. Like, so you're going to wonder, like, Sleepover, what a great film. Sarah Paxton.
Hairspray font. What is this movie?
Spencer, Tyler, what do you guys think of this?
This is where I kind of fall out of the conversation because I don't really think as enthusiastically about the MCU as I do a lot of other things.
Okay.
I casually watch the movies, but like I actually have not seen any X-Men films yet. Truth be told.
Okay.
The prospect excites me because I do enjoy watching Marvel movies, but I don't have any like big theories. I will be happy with what we get.
Okay,
probably, maybe, I don't know.
No, that's totally fine. You know, like pardon me. Yeah, no, that's totally fine. Like, just I think the bottom line of it being that he is part of a Marvel property that wasn't owned by Disney at one point and now is owned by Disney. And, you know, just the prospects of him possibly reprising his role in that, like, is just a weird thing to even think about for, like, big MCU fans also kind of thing. It's just, it's that weird parallel, I think.
Yeah.
Tyler, what do you think?
Hang on, I need to check the proper wording with my lawyer. Okay, I've been told to say, I literally don't care. Thank you. I barely seen any of these movies.
Okay.
I'm like peer pressured and bullied when I tell people I haven't seen most of them. At Stage 89, we had rented out an entire theater at Disney Springs to watch a private screening of Avengers, and I went, no, thank you. Hotel. And Pete like yelled at me in the middle of Hollywood Studios.
Pete?
Yeah.
Pete hasn't even seen. Well, no, he did see one of them.
We're all watching it together. You're not gonna know what happens. I'm like, I don't care.
So Tyler, if it makes you if it makes you feel any better, I've only seen the MCU movies up to the original Guardians of the Galaxy, and then I've seen the last 2 Avengers movies. So I have like this big gap, and I feel no motivation to like go back and keep watching them because I keep thinking about it. I'm like, but it's 2.5 hours, and I could watch something else, and like I'm trying to start watching new TV shows, and I keep thinking like, sitting for 2.5 hours is a long time commitment, and then I sit there for 5 hours watching reruns of Last Week Tonight or something.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, like, but that has at least some kind
totally
of entertainment value.
Yeah, no. Question for all 3 of you. Have you guys seen other? And it doesn't need to be MCU, but have you seen other like Marvel stuff? Like, you know how Netflix has Daredevil and all this, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Punisher. Yeah. Have you seen any of the Spider-Man movies from Sony that aren't MCU based? Like the Tobey Maguire.
Those I saw.
Yeah.
When I was a wee child.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So, question for you guys. Let's say WandaVision is going to break out the multiverse. Yeah. Which essentially gives the possibility of bringing all these characters that aren't part of the MCU into the MCU. At, even for a brief moment, who would you like to see?
The Thing.
So would I
bring all of them?
You know how there's 3 Fantastic Four movies.
No, I'm talking about the Jessica Alba one from back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I really like the Thing in that. Who played him? Someone played him. I forgot the actor. I really liked him.
Forgot his name.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I feel so dumb.
While you guys figure that out, the only really big thing from the Fox movie universe that I want to see come to the MCU is Deadpool. I want to see Deadpool come to the MCU, please. I've seen the other Spider-Man movies, but I never have bothered with the Netflix shows. I don't read comic books. Okay. So like my experience with Marvel is with the MCU. And the Spider-Man movies before he was in the MCU. Which, by the way, Andrew Garfield, those movies are terrible. I like the Sam Raimi ones, but I can't stand the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. I hate them.
The Andrew Garfield one, I think Mark Webb had, which is funny because that's exactly what happened with Sam Raimi Spider-Man as well. They had a vision, and Sony at the time wanted things done their way.
Yeah.
And it was like Spider-Man.
I like the Sam Raimi movies, though.
Well, like Spider-Man 3, though.
3 of those movies. I like Spider-Man 3.
The one with Venom?
Yeah.
Sam Raimi-ish.
That's the one
when
with Venom.
Takes off the jacket in the club.
It's like he had his vision for like 4 movies.
I guess maybe it's because like I have that suspension of disbelief, and I'm also not like an MCU super fan, so I can sit through Spider-Man 3 and be like, okay, yeah. It's not a great movie. Like I definitely like the first 2 better, but I don't think Spider-Man 3 is awful. Then again, I'm also the person who thinks that The Last Jedi is actually a good movie, so probably shouldn't listen to me if you have some opinions about films.
I enjoyed half of it.
I like The Last Jedi.
No, that's fine. But yeah, no, like people in the chat are saying that they liked Sandman. Oh, and also Michael Chiklis.
Michael Chiklis.
Yes, Michael Chiklis.
Yes, he was in S.H.I.E.L.D. The S.H.I.E.L.D.? Or S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yes.
One of them.
Thank you, chat, for that one.
Yes.
Michael Chiklis.
S.H.I.E.L.D. is the first one, and then The S.H.I.E.L.D. is the second.
But yeah.
And then S.H.I.E.L.D. 7 is the seventh.
Or Blade.
That's a Fast and Furious reference for those who don't get it.
So,
but I mean,
Blade.
out of all of the Marvel and the Fox things, I think Deadpool would be the most fun to see in the MCU.
I feel you.
I love both of those movies, and I think Ryan Reynolds is very eager to keep being Deadpool. I think that bringing him into the MCU would not be the most difficult thing in the world.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm going to give both you and Jilly 2 points. I'm I'm down for some Fantastic Four. I've been waiting for some Fantastic Four, and if I have to get the old Fantastic Four into, which is gonna be weird because that's essentially Captain America as well.
Yeah.
But you said just Thing, so I'm good with that.
Thing. I could go without the rest of them.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Bring them. Bring them in.
Eric, my arms are getting tired.
Oh, Spencer, where are you? There we go.
Can you say something like Italian, like Io skin?
And Spencer, I'm giving you 2 points because I want to see Deadpool.
The bread of God is bread. No one but the one from Jericho.
Oh my gosh.
Can bring bread.
What is happening?
It's a John Mulaney reference.
Yeah,
Get on
No,
board.
I know it is.
And also with you.
But we know John Mulaney.
The two greatest comedians right now are John Mulaney and John Oliver. Just that's it for me. Like, I love both of them so much.
Weren't they my Pain and Panic?
No, it was John Mulaney and Nick Kroll. Yeah.
And Nick Kroll. There we go.
Yeah. Nick Kroll is also a great comedian. Just my two favorites are John Oliver and John Mulaney, but that's beside the point.
I never liked Nick Kroll, and then I watched Big Mouth, and I'm like, maybe I'll go back and watch the Kroll Show, and it's like the funniest stuff I've ever seen in my life.
No,
and also that's
Hello
where
is brilliant. You need to. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love Oh Hello.
Because those characters were in the Kroll Show, and I had no idea.
But Spencer, I'm giving you 2 points, or you got your 2 points, because I want to see Deadpool.
Yeah.
I honestly do.
Understandable.
I think it's like the fact that in the Deadpool movies, like you had X-Men characters kind of like cameo, and even that in that second one when they closed the door, and the whole cast is there kind of thing. I love that, and I think it would be super cool to get Deadpool and have like an Avengers film in Deadpool's point of view. Okay. So like, I don't know how they'd be able to do it. I think it's a little iffy, but like to see Deadpool in an Avengers movie do stuff, and then he just kind of like goes away, but then in his movie, it's the other point of view.
Yeah.
And he's able to like curse, and he's able to like do stuff that in the Avengers movie, like you wouldn't be able to do at all, and not even be able to see. I think would be funny. So yeah, Tyler, who would you bring? Would you bring anyone?
What Marvel things are on my shelf?
I'm just gonna pick something.
No, that doesn't count.
I don't care.
Well, wasn't that Marvel though?
That doesn't count.
Was that Marvel too though?
I put Dreamfinder in the MCU.
That's the only Marvel. Hang on, what is this? Spidey? I like Spidey. Spider-Man is the only character I like because it's like a character that's not some kind of god or some rich kind of aristocrat or some older guy. Like he's like a everyman who's like, whoa, I got some crazy I don't know why I'm doing like a surfer voice. I got some like crazy powers.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Like I loved Spider-Verse, but that was also just made by people who know how to make a good fun movie.
Yeah.
That was what are the directors' names again? They did
anything that Phil Lord and Chris Miller touched.
Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Cool.
Yeah. They know how to make a fun movie, and I wish Solo was just a fun, weird, funny movie before they got fired from it.
Yeah.
I don't even really know many Marvel characters, to be completely honest.
Okay.
When I hear cinematic universe, I just think just make one good movie. You know what? I liked Guardians. But also because the main character was like, my mom died from cancer, now I'm in space. And I'm like, that fits very much with the kind of thing I'd be interested in. And also like, it hit a little close to home.
Yeah.
And then I like Doctor Strange until they did that thing where they have to just like dump a bunch of comics into the like if Marvel is a kitchen, there's like one guy who's making like this lovely Doctor Strange stew, and then somebody comes in and just dumps in a bunch of carrots because they need to shoehorn in their Infinity Gauntlet garbage into it. Like, I liked the movie up until they're like, you know how to use an Infinity Stone? What's that? Don't worry about it. Wink. And I was like, can you get this out of my movie?
No, I feel you.
I don't know. There's not many characters I'm interested in. I know there's gay Marvel characters. Bring them in.
Okay.
I'd be at least slightly interested.
I'm gonna give you
now that I think about it.
I'm gonna give you a point.
Kind of reminds me of.
Oh, sorry.
Of who?
I was just going to say, now that I think about it, Tyler kind of reminds me of John Mulaney with the way he talks and does imitations of people and physically moves. Like,
Tyler,
I
get your point.
see it.
I'm trying to. I'm finding a.
Oh.
Okay.
There we
Catch it, and then I'm looking for like a gay pin.
But yeah, I'm giving you a point because of Spider-Man. I would love to see the live-action Spider-Mans in this Marvel universe, just for like even a second. I think that'll be cool. But also gay characters. Yeah, we need more representation just in general. So I like that.
Haru from Free, he's pretty gay.
I like that. Guys, before we go, we're gonna do Ask the Geeks. Yeah. So cool. we had you guys submit really some questions. And if by any chance you didn't submit any and you guys want to, you guys can jump on to either Facebook or Instagram, Geekly Kingdom, and you guys can submit some questions there. But yeah, we got some questions. We're going to be doing one today, so let's see what question we got. All right. Ooh. So the question is, what Disney IP do you think is overrepresented in Disney parks? And this was sent in by Kelly MB on Instagram.
Ooh, Kelly MB, she sounds fun.
She sounds fun.
Overrepresented in the park?
Overrepresented in the parks.
Toy Story.
Spencer, you can Toy Story?
I'm 1,000% with you.
There's too much Toy Story. Like you have Pixar Pier and Midway Mania, and Midway Mania is in 3 resorts now, and it's not very good. And then you have Toy Story Land in another 3 or 4 resorts, which is also just not very good. And in all of those resorts, except for one, it's all just off-the-shelf rides with kind of Toy Story theming a little bit.
Yeah.
That's how it is in Shanghai and in Hong Kong and in Paris.
Yeah.
And then in Orlando, there's just the sad existence of Toy Story Land just in general.
Yeah, no.
And then in Orlando, you've got Space Ranger Spin, which needs to die, and Midway Mania, which just isn't good. And here we're getting the Toy Story Hotel here, and they already have it in Shanghai. And there's too much Toy Story. I really think that Toy Story it's a great franchise, except for the 4th movie. But enough is enough. If you're going to do Toy Story again, they either need to replace something else that is already Toy Story, or they need to make it so good that it makes it cancel out all of the crap that we have been fed, because it feels like Toy Story is their excuse to do something cheap, because it's so easy to do.
I'm gonna piggyback off of you. I'm a huge Toy Story fan, everyone knows it. But yes, I agree with you. I'm kind of just tired of seeing Toy Story used for, it's popular, it's not gonna matter what we do with it kind of thing. People are gonna come, people are gonna want to ride, just do something. I'm kind of just sick of that.
Yeah.
I think there's other Pixar properties, if you have to do a Pixar property, I feel like there's other Pixar properties you can do. Monsters, Inc. would be one.
Yeah.
That would be amazing to see somewhere else. I'm a fan of the Laugh Floor. I might be, I might be in the minority there. I like Laugh Floor, but there's so much more you can do with it.
Yeah. A coaster?
Yeah.
A door
Monsters
coaster?
Inc., the Tokyo ride and the California ride are both really good. I like both of the Monsters, Inc. rides, and I'd love to see them do something else, like the door coaster that was supposed to come to Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
I think that is just ripe for an adaptation. Oh, okay, we're done. Bye. Ben, are you okay? What's going on? Are you is a cat walking over the keyboard or something?
I hit exactly one wrong button and made a lot of bad things happen. Sorry about that, folks. Keep going.
No, you good.
So,
Okay. I really like Toy Story, but I feel like it's their excuse to do something cheap.
Yeah.
I want to see something good with Toy Story. I think that the best thing they've ever done with Toy Story, and I've never even been on it, but it's just by default, the best thing they've ever done is Slinky Dog Dash. Just because Toy Story Mania it's fun, but it's also kind of cheap. I like the exteriors in California and Tokyo, not so much the one in Florida. The Toy Story Hotel in Shanghai is cute, but not very good. I'm kind of hesitant about what they're building here too. I haven't seen any concept art yet, but I'm hearing that it's going to be a lot of the same stuff, and it just doesn't really make me excited.
Yeah, I feel
you. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin / Astro Blasters is so overdone. It's in every castle park at this point. Except for Hong Kong. I can't, it's overdone. They need to do something new or stop doing it.
Yeah.
I really would like to see them up their game.
I definitely think it's a Disney problem.
Yeah.
Like Disney themselves, they stopped thinking about like destination parks. And now it's just, you don't need to visit other parks. Like, you might want to visit this park for like one thing, Mystic Manor, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And just forget about everything else. Everything else you can see in like a park near you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it's very just, I feel like a Disney problem, just in general. But yeah, do you guys want to jump in?
It definitely is.
I do partly agree, as well as I think that in terms of overdone, and I think it's solely talking about Hollywood studios, is it slowly becoming just a Star Wars park, and I love Star Wars. I mean, let's not even get it twisted. I have a Star Wars tattoo. I love Star Wars, but like, you got
Toy Story tattoo.
I feel you. Yeah, you got Launch Bay over here. You got Star Tours over there. You got a half-baked land over in the other corner. I feel like it's just slowly, and Disney's Hollywood Studios used to be my favorite park, and I still hold on to it, but slowly it's becoming less about Hollywood and more about Star Wars, and I feel like put one great thing and not have all these weird stuff, and like, do they still have the March?
No,
Did they take
thank
that?
God.
They took that away, thank God. Because every hour on the
couldn't.
hour or something? Like, come on.
Couldn't do it.
So I think, you can use the Launch Bay. You could put something else there. It doesn't need to be there. It's not that important. I like Star Tours. But, yeah. That's my
Move
view.
Star Tours. Like, you could throw that into Galaxy's Edge. Just,
Can't.
yank it out and move it somewhere else.
So at one
We're going to take Star Tours and put it there.
at one point, I really did believe they were building another Star Tours in the land.
Yeah.
I really wanted it to be a thing for them to be able to just have everything together.
Yeah.
Especially after, like, right before, what's the area called? Star Wars area?
Galaxy's
Right before Galaxy's Edge opened, they added that ending that you were like landing in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
So I was very confused because I was like, are you guys going to be using this while Galaxy Edge is open?
Yeah.
Because I'm not exiting this to be in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
Like, this is very weird. And if you think about Disneyland, it's even in the complete opposite ends of the theme park for them to even do that. But yeah, no, I feel you. Star Wars.
It's weird here. Like, we don't have Batuu, and I'm on Star Tours landing in Batuu. I'm like, what is this? We don't have Batuu. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, but you see,
even weirder, like in a park.
But I feel like
we get all of the new Star Tours updates, and so like I was on Star Tours before they did like the only Rise of Skywalker thing, and I was sitting there. I'm like, oh, we're landing in Batuu. Wait, what?
I feel like that's fine though, because like you would ride Star Tours and you would go to different destinations. Like that's fine. I just found it weird when the destination was a destination you can go visit, and it's like every single time that you would ride it, you would exit into that destination, and it's like you're not there though.
it definitely is weird that it definitely is weirder to have that in the park where you also have Batuu. But I think even in the park where you don't have Batuu, it still is like, why?
Is it always Batuu at the end though?
No. It was just like, it's one of the random endings.
You see, for us, it was at a time, it was always Batuu. So it was very weird to me.
For us, it's just one of the random endings. Like, you'll land on the Star Cruiser or on Naboo, or you'll land in Batuu. Like, it's just thrown into the mix.
It could have been a luck of the draw for me.
Hollywood,
but I remember writing it like about 5 times because I was like, this is weird. There's no way that I'm going to this ending every single time.
Yeah.
I was like,
they
what?
did it because they want you to know that the park was going to get that expansion.
Yeah.
If they could easily shoot, like, oh gosh, and look how amazing this land will be. Like, of course they're gonna keep doing that.
But yeah, like you see, like Spencer's, the fact that it's not always kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with doing that is nobody knew here what Batuu was. So like they brought it in. I think that was what they added Batuu in with the Last Jedi editions, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
That was when they did the Last Jedi endings. And so the thing is, nobody here knows what Batuu is unless they're like the super fans that go to California or to Florida.
Gotcha.
And so like you're just throwing in this random planet. Like people will know that it's the Star Cruiser or that it's Naboo, but they'll be like, what is this place?
Yeah.
You know, if you're writing Star Tours. I really think that at Hollywood Studios, like since they just cloned the same land as Disneyland, they have like those dead end tunnels. And I think that you could easily be like, okay, this tunnel leads to a hangar, like another one, and you get on Star Tours.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's such a missed opportunity just to move Star Tours to one of those little dead ends where they didn't change anything from Disneyland's plans.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good idea. But I agree with Chili. I think that especially at Hollywood Studios and Disneyland, Star Wars is really getting beaten, I think, a little bit. I think that it's time to kind of scale those back a little bit. Other parks, you know, you could always, I think here we could use a little more Star Wars in Tomorrowland.
Yeah, like if you don't have any Star Wars representation, then sure, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start having
but you guys have like these big budget lands like at Disneyland and Hollywood Studios. It doesn't make sense to have all of that stuff spread out everywhere anymore.
And that's my biggest thing, that it's spread out. Like if it was one section of the park, then cool, that's the Star Wars section.
Yeah.
But I turn to the right and there's a Star Wars section. Turn to the left, there's a Star Wars section. Oh, look, it's Muppets and then a Star Wars section. Like what? Tyler, do you have another one? Do you think there's another IP that's a little too much?
No, I agree with both of those exactly. There's nothing that really like hinders my enjoyment of the parks except the sheer amount of Star Wars at studios. And also Toy Story not working anywhere that it ever is. There was a plane.
That was a spaceship.
Oh yeah, sorry. I have my window. That's my window being open because it's nice out and I don't want to spend money on air conditioning, so my window is open.
That's a
spaceship.
Sorry.
But yeah, I agree with both of you. Just Toy Story and Star Wars, like, calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down. Stop. When you want to.
I think another one.
But it sucks. That was a Mean Girls musical
Another thing.
reference.
Just this isn't even IP really, but it's an attraction. I think Soarin' is overused in the Disney parks. I think that you should have the one in California.
As the one in California.
Maybe the other ones. Yeah, the one in California Adventure should always be Soarin' over California. Putting it as Around the World was a stupid decision.
Yeah, I feel like the Around the World should be at Epcot.
I don't like the Epcot one at all. I don't think it belongs. I think it's there because it's popular. I don't think Soarin' belongs at Epcot, honestly. Shanghai Disneyland, I get it a little bit more. The Shanghai one looks pretty. And Shanghai is already a park that doesn't make sense, so it's not like it matters. I think and this is also my own personal bias talking, but I think that the really important versions of Soaring are the ones in California, the one in California and the one here. And the only reason I say the one here is because the setup to the rest of the attraction is so good that it justifies how bad that movie is.
Yeah, yours is cool.
I wish we had a different movie. I don't like Around the World. I think it's dumb. But the rest of the building and the pre-show and like tying it into C makes it worth everything else.
Yeah.
But the one at Epcot is just bad, and the one at Shanghai, that park doesn't really matter. So whatever. But that Soaring is a property that I think has been overused because it's not even really a special ride anymore. I mean, especially after Flight of Passage exists. I think that Soaring is something they should stop building.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. Kelly, thank you so much for submitting that question.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah. And remember, guys, if you want to submit,
question.
if you guys want to submit some questions, Facebook, Instagram, Geekly Kingdom, we'll have a post. We'll have a post with the Ask the Geeks logo, and you guys can submit there, just in the comments, and we'll put all your comments, all your questions inside our question box here, and question box, and then we'll pick some out every show. But that looks like it wraps up our show for today. Our first show is done.
Oh my god!
It's cool.
Yay.
I want to thank my panel, Jilly. Jilly, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at It's a Jilly Holiday.
Awesome. I want to say thank you to Tyler. Oh.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
for
I can
having
draw
me. This
now.
was super fun.
Awesome, man. Tyler, where can people find you? Can people find you? They can find your art.
They can find me. They can find my art. I'm not sure that everyone will very much enjoy all of it, but yeah.
But hey, they can find your art.
Art is art.
I want to say thank you to Spencer. Spencer, thank you so much for coming on. Where can people find you, man?
You can find... Jesus Christ. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TDRPlans.
Awesome. And you guys can find me on It's E Wolf and also Geekly Kingdom on Instagram and Facebook. I also want to say thank you so much to Ben. He is our man in the chair, our voiceover. Thank you so much for helping us out.
Ben.
And guys,
Thank you,
remember
Ben.
next week is Plays with Scott. And the following week we'll be coming back. We're going to be taking turns every Saturday. But thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi. Oh yeah, become a wig. Do that.
Oh yeah, become a Waze member.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Patreon.com/WDWNT. Do it. It's awesome.
Bye, guys.